What about you, YouTube? Today's video is all about aerating, scarifying, overseeding and top dressing. The work's been done to let the air down into the lawn and help remove some of the thatch, and the sand will really help with the drainage. And we're overseeding it with 100% fescue to thicken up the lawn. Usually whenever we aerate lawns we tend to go a bit quicker, but because we're top dressing today we want to create a lot of holes in the ground to get the sand down into the soil profile. If you can see in the video there just how many cores per square metre we're pulling out. Huge number. This is really good for the lawn, and it'll help get the sand down into the profile. So the aerating is really good to relieve compaction and obviously to remove some thatch out of the lawn as well. This machine really does pull a lot of plugs whenever you're holding it back. Just with videoing and working, it could be very time consuming always setting up the camera and stuff, so unfortunately I didn't get the camera set up for the start of the scarifying, but just show you this is the first pass over the lawn. Usually on the finer lawns I wouldn't be as hard, but as we're top dressing overseeding today, I was able to really get into it and get a lot of thatch out of the lawn. A double pass on a lawn like this can be really hard on it, so it's a sort of double-edged sword about how hard you go, and so that you don't lose the surface of the grass. You can afford to be just a wee bit harder on it. On our visit this day we were really lucky with the weather. The sun was shining down, and makes all the difference in the world whenever you're scarifying on a nice sunny day. The cores and the debris dries up pretty good, and you can clear it up very fast, and it's also very good obviously for the top dressing. It'll come later on in the video. So as you can see here, I'm just taking my time and going over this here double pass. The lesser of the diagonals on the scarifying lines, the less hard you are on the turf. If you're going at crossroads, then it's a lot harder on the turf. So if you don't want to be just as hard, bring your lines a bit closer together, the way I am here, instead of going like straight across it. So I must say this customer is really good. He definitely passed the tea test with copious amounts of tea over the course of this visit. So the reason we're top dressing this lawn today is just to try and keep the soil profile open and open it up a bit. We're using 100% sports sand. Not always what I would do for the majority of lawns. It's not that suitable. Most lawns I'd prefer to use a 70-30 mix or 100% soil. Sand is inert, and there's no benefit really to the soil. But what it does do, it'll help with the drainage. This here is a sports sand, so if you looked at it under a microscope, it's round in nature. The big difference between this and the plastering sand and builder's sand. Plastering sand is angular in nature, and it's used to make clay bricks, so it compacts down. The sports sands are washed and they're round and they don't compress down, and that's a real big difference. You'll hear a lot of people say about using builder's sand. Again, not suitable because it's usually full of lime and clay, and it's not great. So I'm just coming to the end of this pile here. It's important that anytime you're top dressing a lawn not to leave it in lumps, because it can make it really hard to mat in. And you just want it to be nice and even across the whole lawn, across the whole surface. We went away for some lunch and then we came back half an hour later and the sand had all dried, which makes cleaning it up an awful lot easier. This tool we're using here is called a drag mat, and it's just like a big steel, the easiest way to describe it is a carpet. It just pulls all the sand into the holes, and it helps level out undulations and stuff in the lawn, which is really good. Young Cameron there walking beside, he's just walking around looking for any stones that might have been in the sand. After this was complete, we also gave it a feed. It's also worth pointing out that it was treated with iron and seaweed about 2 weeks before we started all this work. So if you've enjoyed the video, please leave us a comment down below.
Well, I'm very happy with what we serviced and a very sunny day. Hopefully the lawn, which was pretty good to start off with, will be even better in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. I wanted a long-term good effect on it because there was a bit too much thatch, and for a long time I wanted to get it hollow tined. Hollow tined in a number of years ago, but I haven't hollow tined it recently. So hopefully with all that work on it, it will be coming up immaculate in 3 or 4 weeks' time.